The internet is on fire, and tonight, it's messy. Fans are in complete shock after whispers from King Von's family circle leaked into the timeline like gasoline. And then, boom, Asian Doll lit the match. Screenshots, lives, and late-night tweets have the entire culture asking the same question. Who betrayed who? Because when family secrets spill, friendships fracture, and industry alliances start to crumble, it doesn't feel like regular drama. It feels like a full-on rap reality meltdown. Picture this. A cryptic message hits. IG stories around 2:13 a.m. A familiar voice goes live. Comments fly so fast the screen looks like a slot machine. At the center of it all, Asian Doll. Fighting tears, fire in her voice, finally breaking her silence on Lil Durk. And just as she starts speaking her truth, Von's family drops one more bomb that sends the comment section into a civil war. Team Asian versus Team Durk. Keep it in the family versus my. Say it with your chest. Streets talking, fans divided, emotions high. We're about to walk into that timeline like cameras rolling. We'll unpack the betrayal rumors, decode the subposts, and expose the layers no one's connecting yet. And trust, the final twist will have you staring at your phone, whispering, "Ain't no way, stay locked, because we're just getting started." The night was quiet, but the internet wasn't. Notifications were going off like fire alarms, fans refreshing timelines every few seconds, and group chats exploding with half-truths and screen records. What started with one cryptic post from Von's cousin had already snowballed into whispers of betrayal and broken promises. Nobody had said any names out loud, but everybody's eyes were locked on the same two people. Asian Doll's silence had been building for months, and now it looked like she was about to finally let everything out. The suspense was enough to make people cancel their Friday night plans just to sit glued to their phones. Around 2 a.m., a black screen story went up. Plain white text, the kind you can feel before you even finish reading it. Since everybody want to talk, let's talk. No emojis, no hashtags, just raw energy. People knew immediately that something big was about to happen. The internet does not sleep. And within minutes, the post had been screenshotted, reposted, and debated on every platform from Twitter threads to Instagram comments. The story felt like the calm before a storm, and everyone was holding their breath for the thunder. Rumors were flying in every direction. Some fans swore that Von's family had been hinting for weeks that certain promises hadn't been kept. Others claimed they had inside info, that meetings had gone wrong, deals had been blocked, and memorial plans had been changed last minute. The truth was blurry, but the feelings were sharp. Anger, sadness, betrayal, confusion. It all mixed together into a toxic cocktail that kept people scrolling and scrolling. Then, just like that, Asian Doll went live. The screen lit up with her face, ring light glowing in the background, eyes sharp but heavy. Thousands of viewers poured in instantly, comments flooding so fast you could barely read them. "We love you, Asian." "Drop names, sis." "Where Durk at?" It was chaos, but it was the kind of chaos everyone feeds on. Her voice was steady, but you could hear the pain underneath. "Y'all think I don't know what's been said? I heard it all. The whispers, the podcasts, the group chats I wasn't supposed to see. Since folks got selective memory, let me clear mine." The comments went insane. People clipped the line, "Don't test my silence like it's weakness," and turned it into a viral sound within minutes. TikTok edits, memes, reaction videos, every corner of the internet was eating it up. But the real bomb didn't come from Asian Doll. It came from Von's family. Their small but respected page dropped a paragraph that sent shockwaves through the culture. "We're tired of the confusion. There were promises made to honor Von properly. Some were kept, some were not. We won't argue online, but truth ain't disloyalty." Those last three words, "truth ain't disloyalty," set the internet ablaze. Fans turned it into a hashtag, a slogan, a movement. Within hours, threads were popping up with timelines, theories, and receipts. Every finger pointed back to the same two people, Asian Doll and Lil Durk. Nobody said it outright, but everybody said it in the subtext. And silence can be louder than words. Durk's page stayed quiet. No posts, no likes, no comments. For fans, that silence felt like strategy, but others saw it as avoidance, and the tension only grew thicker. Producers, engineers, and bloggers all started dropping their own 2 cents. One producer posted a throwback video of Von and Durk laughing in the studio, captioning it, "Legends. Keep the politics out, the legacy." It looked like a nostalgic tribute, but fans dissected every word for hidden meanings. One engineer went on a small podcast and shared an anecdote. "I remember a night they laid down a hook in one take. Everybody was smiling. No cameras, just pure love for the music. Now, it feels like nothing and everything changed." The host leaned in and asked, "So what changed?" The engineer paused before saying, "Time changes people. Fame changes how we argue." And that was the energy surrounding everything. Arguments that started private had now become public property. The internet had turned into a courtroom, with fans acting like lawyers and judges at the same time. Team Asian versus Team Durk. Team Keep It in the Family versus Team Say It With Your Chest. Hashtags like Protect Von's Legacy, Durk Ain't Saying Nothing, and Truth Ain't Disloyalty painted the timeline like graffiti. Reaction channels jumped on it too. Within hours, YouTube was filled with titles like Asian Doll Exposes Lil Durk and Von's Family Speaks Out. Thumbnails with shocked faces, red arrows, and bold words flooded the platform. Everyone was trying to cash in on the chaos, but for the fans, it wasn't just entertainment. It was personal. They felt connected to Von, to his music, to his story, and now they felt dragged into a feud they never asked for. Somewhere in the middle of all this, a screenshot leaked. It looked like a DM between two people, names blurred, but everyone assumed who it was. The words hit hard. "If you're going to say my name, say it to me, not the timeline," the reply. "I tried. Phone dead. Doors closed. Cap, you ain't want a convo. You wanted a crowd. I wanted the truth." Nobody knew if it was real or staged, but it felt real enough to spot. A supposed mediator even leaked a paraphrase. "Say less, say better. You're both right and wrong." Asian allegedly said, "I'll never let them rewrite Von." Durk allegedly replied, "Then let's write it together, not over each other." Whether true or not, the internet ate it up. Fans started debating if reconciliation was possible, or if the wounds were too deep. And just when things looked like they might calm down, Von's family dropped another post. Shorter this time, but sharper. "Legacy is action, not captions. We welcome anyone honoring Von, privately or publicly, if it's done with respect." Another bombshell. Was it aimed at Asian Doll, at Durk, at both? Nobody knew, but it reset the board, giving fans another reason to argue. All of this was just the first wave, the first night of madness. The music hadn't even entered the chat yet, but whispers of unreleased snippets were already floating around. And the way fans were waiting, the moment a song dropped, it was going to change everything. The story didn't slow down, it only got heavier. The morning after Asian Doll's live, fans woke up to a different kind of chaos. Timelines were flooded with think pieces, reaction videos, and endless reposts of that family statement. People were screen recording lives, analyzing tone of voice, zooming in on blurry screenshots like detectives. Every move felt like it carried hidden meaning. And in the middle of it all, the silence from Durk's camp became its own headline. No posts, no comments, no replies. To some, it looked like control. To others, it looked like guilt. Blogs started stitching together every moment from the last 2 years. One headline read, "The Rise and Fracture of Von's Circle." Another screamed, "Asian versus Durk. Who's really protecting Von's name?" YouTube thumbnails exaggerated everything. Red circles around faces, shocked expressions, fiery emojis. The internet was treating grief like a Netflix docuseries, breaking down episodes and guessing the next plot twist. But it wasn't just fans fueling the fire. Industry people began to chime in too. A DJ with close ties to Chicago's scene hinted on Twitter, "Promises and paperwork always mix messy with pain." Fans instantly began speculating about deals and rights to Von's unreleased catalogue. Some said Durk was blocking drops. Others said Asian was demanding too much input. Nobody really knew, but speculation became gospel once enough people repeated it. Asian's live clips kept circulating. The one line, "Don't test my silence like it's weakness," was everywhere. People remixed it into TikTok trends, paired it with slow-motion edits, and even turned it into captions for their own personal drama. Her words had escaped the context of Von and Durk, and now they belonged to the culture at large. The family's statement, though, kept coming back like a haunting chorus. "Truth ain't disloyalty." That line was now a weapon. Fans were using it against Durk, others against Asian. One comment said, "Truth ain't disloyalty means stop chasing clout off Von." Another said, "Truth ain't disloyalty means Durk should be honest about what's really going on." It was like watching two sides of a coin fight over which side was shiny. Then came the whispers of money. Blogs hinted that some funds promised for community projects in Von's name had gone missing or been redirected. No receipts, no official proof, just whispers. But whispers online move faster than facts. And suddenly, people were demanding accountability from both Durk and Asian. Fans were asking where the money went, what was done in Von's name, and who really had the right to speak for his legacy. Around that same time, a new layer of drama surfaced. An unreleased snippet. A 15-second audio clip leaked, muffled but powerful. Heavy drums, a haunting melody, and lyrics that sounded like they were aimed at betrayal. The line that stood out: "They promised love, but left me with silence, and silence cuts deep." Nobody knew if the snippet was real, old, or fan-made, but it spread like wildfire. Fans insisted it was from Von's vault. Others swore it was Durk addressing the situation indirectly. Either way, the clip only added gasoline to the fire. Reaction channels jumped on it instantly. One host leaned into the mic and said, "This ain't just music, this is communication. In this game, songs are statements. If that clip is real, then we're looking at a whole new war disguised as music." Another host argued back, "Or maybe y'all just chasing ghosts. Sometimes a song is just a song." Fans didn't care. They clipped the sound, looped it, turned it into edits, and debated every syllable. And then, almost on cue, another leak appeared. A blurred screenshot of supposed DMs, this time looking even more personal. The words read, "I tried calling, you ain't answer. Reply, because every time I answer, it becomes a headline." Fans were convinced it was between Asian and Durk, though names were blurred out. Some thought it was fake. Others said it lined up with the mediator phone call rumor. Real or not, it kept people glued to the drama. Comment section wars turned into battlegrounds. Fans went back and forth like lawyers. One side said Asian was using Von's name for clout. The other said Durk was erasing Asian from Von's story. Insults flew. Friendships ended, and timelines looked like digital riots. Hashtags rose and fell in popularity like rap charts. One night it was Tamsh Respectation. The next it was Tamsh Durk Defend Their Legacy. By the weekend, both were trending side by side. Blogs pushed the narrative further, suggesting that the feud wasn't just personal, it was also about control. Who gets to define Von's legacy? Who gets to release music? Who gets to host events in his honor? One headline said, "Grief turned political. Von's name in the middle of an empire war." It sounded exaggerated, but fans believed it. They always do. In the middle of all this, Asian went live again. This time she didn't cry. She didn't yell. She just looked straight into the camera and said, "I love Von. Everything I do is for him. If anybody feels different, that's their problem. But nobody can rewrite what I lived." The chat went wild. Half of them sent hearts. The other half accused her of playing victim. One comment said, "If it was really about Von, you wouldn't be online." Another said, "She speaking her truth, let her." Durk stayed silent. Not a word, not a post. But silence has power. Fans dissected his every like, every unfollow, every absence. When he skipped a show in Atlanta, people immediately tied it to the drama. When he posted a vague story with just prayer hands, fans swore it was directed at the feud. Everything became evidence, even when it wasn't. Then came the biggest twist yet. Von's family dropped another bombshell statement. "Legacy is not captions. Legacy is action. We don't need clout, we need respect." Short, sharp, and piercing. People debated whether it was shade at Asian, a shot at Durk, or just a general plea. Whatever it was, it reignited the flames. Blogs framed it like this: family chooses respect over captions, shade at Asian, while others flipped it. Family calls out industry politics, shot at Durk. The ambiguity was intentional and it worked perfectly. Speculation hit the roof. Some fans claimed they saw Asian's stylist liking the flyer, while others said a known associate of Durk had shared it on their story. People started dissecting fonts, colors, and even the wording to figure out who had real influence behind the event. One fan thread on Twitter went viral with the caption, "Decoding the flyer, who's really pulling the strings?" Screenshots of liked posts and cryptic emojis became the evidence, and the replies looked like a courtroom transcript. Blogs jumped in with their own spin. One headline read, "Tribute event could be reunion or disaster." Another shouted, "Asian doll versus Lil Durk." Will they cross paths at Von's memorial? YouTube channels created countdowns, podcasts dedicated entire episodes, and reaction videos speculated whether the event would mark peace or ignite more drama. Behind the scenes, rumors began to circulate about a potential sit-down between Asian and Durk before the tribute. Nothing confirmed, just whispers from sources, claiming both sides didn't want to risk a public blow-up in front of fans. A blogger tweeted, "Word is a meeting already happened. Outcome unclear, but voices were raised." Whether true or not, fans ate it up. Every like, every repost added fuel to the fire. The night of the tribute arrived. Videos began surfacing within minutes of doors opening. Hundreds of fans showed up, holding candles, wearing shirts with Von's face printed on them, chanting his name as they walked through the streets. The energy was heavy, emotional, but filled with love. One fan recording went viral as the crowd yelled in unison, "Long live Von!" The clip gave people chills, and even those not attending felt the weight of the moment. But the real suspense was about who would show up. Fans scanned every camera angle, every shaky live stream, trying to spot familiar faces. And then it happened. Asian Doll appeared, walking through the crowd, head held high. The cheers were loud, emotional, and overwhelming. Fans screamed her name. Some cried, others rushed forward with phones out. It felt like a hero's welcome. And for a moment, the negativity of the past week disappeared. She took the stage briefly, voice trembling but steady. "This is for Von, for everything he gave us, for everything he left behind." "Nobody can take that away," the crowd erupted. Chants of "Asian, Asian" echoed, mixed with "Long live Von." It was raw, powerful, and unforgettable. But just as the energy reached its peak, whispers began to spread through the crowd. Someone claimed Durk had arrived. A shaky video surfaced of a black SUV pulling up near the venue. The internet went insane. Fans tweeted, "Durk is here. They about to face off. This finna be history." But then nothing. The SUV stayed closed. Some swore they saw Durk's team step out. Others argued it was just random security. No clear footage, no confirmation. The mystery was enough to keep the rumor alive for hours. Back online, the division returned. One side praised Asian for showing up, saying she proved her loyalty to Von's memory. The other side criticized Durk for staying absent, framing it as avoidance. His silence became louder than ever. Fans said things like, "If you really cared, you'd be here," while others defended him. Grief ain't for cameras. Respect his silence. The family eventually took the mic, offering a heartfelt thank you to the fans and everyone who came to honor Von. Their words were calm, but laced with subtle tension. Legacy is not about who posts the most, it's about who does the most. Tonight, we see who truly stands for him. The line was clipped, reposted, and debated endlessly. Was it shade? Was it a general statement? Nobody knew, but everyone felt the weight. Then, almost unexpectedly, music began to play. A DJ set laced with Von's greatest hits filled the night. Fans rapped along word for word, tears in their eyes, arms in the air. It was cathartic, emotional, and heavy. In that moment, the drama felt smaller. It was about the music, the impact, the memories. People held each other, hugged strangers, and remembered why they cared in the first place. But the calm didn't last long. As videos of the tribute spread online, the debates reignited. Clips of Asian's speech went viral, with captions like, "She held it down," and "Respect for showing up." Meanwhile, speculation about Durk's absence became the biggest talking point of the night. One popular blogger posted, "Asian delivered love, Durk delivered silence." The streets know what that means! The comments exploded, thousands of fans taking sides. Then came another curveball. A leaked text surfaced online, supposedly from someone close to the family. It read, "Meeting didn't go well. No unity, just more division. But at least the tribute happened." Whether fake or real, it fed the fire. Fans argued over who was being unreasonable, who was refusing to compromise, and whether reconciliation was even possible. Podcasts took the conversation further. One host said, "This ain't about grief no more. This is about control. Who gets the final say in Von's legacy?" Another countered, "Control? Nah, this is about respect. Both sides think they loved him more. That's the problem." The back and forth became its own entertainment, fueling hours of content across YouTube, Twitter Spaces, and Clubhouse rooms. And then, late that night, a new bomb dropped. An unreleased song snippet surfaced online, but this time it was clearer, more polished. The lyrics felt almost too direct. They say they speak for me, but I ain't here to agree. The ones who scream the loudest always hide what they see. Fans lost their minds. Some swore it was Von. Others said it was Durk using his pain as fuel. Regardless, the snippet became the most discussed moment of the night. TikTok trends formed instantly. Fans played the snippet over candlelight tribute videos, over montages of Von clips, over dramatic edits of Asian and Durk. The line, "the ones who scream the loudest," became a meme, used to throw shade in comment sections everywhere. The night of tribute was supposed to bring healing, but instead, it reopened wounds. Emotions ran high. The family was left divided, and rumors spiraled out of control once again. People logged off with more questions than answers. Was reconciliation even possible? Was this feud destined to carry on forever? Or was the music itself the only thing capable of bringing peace? And just when fans thought they'd seen everything, the next day promised a twist nobody saw coming. The morning after the tribute felt like the calm after a hurricane, but the internet never really sleeps. Fans woke up to see clips from the night before plastered across every platform. Candlelight vigils, chants of "Long Live Von," then came the podcasts. One show dedicated an entire 2-hour episode to breaking down the tribute night. The host argued, "Look, Asian showing up mattered." She put her grief out there for the world to see. Meanwhile, Durk hiding behind silence makes him look guilty. Another guest disagreed. "Nah, sometimes silence is strength. You don't owe the internet your pain. Grieving in private is not a crime." Fans clipped both arguments, and the sound bites became ammo in the ongoing comment section wars. TikTok only amplified the noise. Users created split-screen edits. Asian speech on one side, the black SUV clip on the other. Captions asked, "Who really cared?" And the comment sections turned into digital brawls. Hashtags flipped again. Respectation dominated one day, chant Durk silence speaks the next. Even people who weren't following the feud started chiming in, using the drama as background for their own content. Then, almost out of nowhere, a post appeared from a verified account tied to a community foundation under Von's name. It was a carousel of photos, kids at a basketball camp, volunteers handing out meals, and a caption that read, "Honoring legacy through action. Thank you to everyone supporting, quietly and loudly. New project launching soon." At first, it felt like a breath of fresh air. Finally, something positive. But fans being fans, they zoomed into every detail of the photos. One shot showed 2 hands passing a donation envelope. Tattoos on the wrist looked familiar, and speculation took off. Was it Durk? Was it Asian? Or was it neither? Just a volunteer caught at the wrong angle? Still, the idea of them both secretly contributing to the same cause reignited hope for reconciliation. Blogs jumped on it immediately. Are Asian and Durk secretly working together behind the scenes? One headline read, another claimed, "Foundation post suggests silent unity." Nobody knew for sure, but the hope of peace was enough to give the story a new arc. Meanwhile, fans began to post letters and videos about what Von's music had meant to them. Captions were long, heartfelt, and emotional. One fan wrote, "Von's music got me through the worst year of my life. I don't care about the drama, I just want his legacy respected." Those posts didn't go viral the same way the drama did, but they carried a quiet weight that reminded people what all of this was supposed to be about in the first place. Still, the internet thrives on conflict, and another twist was waiting around the corner. A backstage clip from years ago resurfaced, showing Von, Durk, and Asian together in a casual moment. Someone joked in the clip. Someone laughed a little too quickly, and now fans were reinterpreting it like it was prophecy. Look at his face when she said that. Notice how he avoided eye contact. In reality, it was just a short, meaningless clip, but the internet gave it new meaning. Suddenly, people were treating a 3-second moment like it was evidence of long-standing tension. Rumors spiraled again, and the family was left divided in public perception. Some fans accused them of feeding the drama with their cryptic posts, while others defended them as just speaking their truth. Emotions ran high, private pain became public property, and once again, the culture was split. But then came an unexpected leak that changed the tone completely. This time, it wasn't messy. It wasn't shady. It was almost peaceful. A screenshot of a text message surfaced, supposedly from one side to the other. It read, I don't hate you. I hate how we talk around what hurts. If you ever need space to say it without the world watching, I'm here. That's the last time I'll say it online. For the first time, fans didn't know how to react. It wasn't fuel for more fighting. It was a quiet olive branch. Comment sections slowed down. People debated whether it was real, but for once nobody could twist it into pure shade. The idea of reconciliation suddenly felt less like fantasy and more like possibility. A few days later, another surprise arrived. A podcast host teased an upcoming sit-down with a silhouette photo of 2 chairs. Next week, no clickbait. Real conversation. Respectfully, the internet went wild. Fans bet money on whether it was Asian, Durk, or even a family member. Nobody knew for sure, but everyone was waiting. The thought of a face-to-face conversation lit the culture up with anticipation. And just when the story seemed to be softening, the music came back into play. A new snippet leaked, but this time it wasn't aggressive. It was emotional, reflective, almost healing. The lyrics spoke about love, loss, and legacy without throwing shade at anyone. Fans immediately speculated that it was intentionally recorded to bring peace, not division. The snippet spread across TikTok with fans using it in tribute edits, birthday posts, and memorial videos. For once, the music wasn't a weapon, it was a bandage. The feud that started with whispers of betrayal, cryptic posts, and chaotic lives had turned into something bigger than anyone expected. It wasn't just Asian versus Durk. It was the entire culture wrestling with grief, loyalty, and legacy. Fans were shocked, the family was divided, and rumors spiraled out of control. But through it all, the memory of Von remained at the center. As the dust settled, the big question lingered. Was this the beginning of healing, or just another pause before the next explosion? And just like that, what started as whispers turned into one of the messiest sagas we've seen in rap culture in a long time. We watched a single black screen story flip the internet upside down, a family statement turn into a war cry, and lives that felt more like reality TV episodes than moments of grief. Asian doll breaking her silence, Von's family dropping cryptic bombs, and Durk's heavy silence painted 3 different sides of the same story, leaving fans caught in the middle of a legacy that means too much to too many. Through all the leaks, the hashtags, the podcast debates, and the endless comment section wars, one truth stayed steady. The culture still loves Von, and his name still echoes like thunder every time it's spoken. The tribute showed the power of unity, even if the unity was fragile. The Foundation post hinted that maybe, just maybe, actions matter more than captions. And those leaked texts, they reminded everyone that behind all the drama are real people carrying real pain. But the question remains, is this feud finally cooling down? Or are we just waiting for the next explosion? Will the rumored sit-down actually happen? Or will pride keep the walls up? Will Von's legacy be honored through healing? Or will it be dragged through another round of hashtags and headlines? What do you think really happened? Did Asian Doll hold it down? Or did Durk's silence speak louder? Drop your thoughts below and let the world know where you stand. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications, because the next twist in this story could drop at any moment,